Hey everyone, it's Fab Wednesdays, and this week I thought I'd go through my favorite games when I was going through junior high and high school, specifically the Sims games. I collected all the Sims games. I don't know why, I just collected them all. First game, Sim Farm. Old graphics, simple, and definitely originally an educational game. You had things attack you and your crops. It was interesting. Speaking of that, I also have Sim Ant somewhere, and it's on a floppy disk and I can't find it right now, but Sim Ant was an awesome game. You made your own ant colony, and then rain would like kill your ants and you get poisoned sometimes, and it was awesome. Sim Earth, very much the same kind of graphics as Sim Farm was. Sim Earth was another one of those educational games as well. But basically you would create and terraform your own planet, and then eventually you would have species on the planet and things like that. Neat concept, didn't really go very far because the graphics were really slow. So SimCity is pretty much the game that made all the Sims such a big popular franchise. You made your own city. Who doesn't want to be the mayor of a city? I think it originally started with a lot of people who loved urban planning, adults mainly to play it, and then of course kids started playing it. This is the big mama of them all. SimCity 2000. This was the game that really threw Maxis over the top. Really, it's just the ultimate game. One of the most talked about PC games in history, computer games in history. One of the first successful cross-platform games where it was available both on Mac and PC games that got super popular everywhere. Everyone knew what SimCity was. Everybody played it, and it spawned one of the first expansion kits of any games that I know. So you got the Urban Renewal kit, you got the scenarios, you got the bonus cities. Sim Tower, one of my favorite sim games for sure. You got to build a tower up to 100 levels, and on the 100th level you could build a chapel. There were a lot of cool things with it. You were able to control the elevators, and you had basement parking, and you had bombings and things like that. The rest of it was really awesome. You were able to build like different restaurants and bistros. You could build a mall on it, a hotel part of it, and condos and offices, and you have them all work out with your elevators. Sim Isle, Maxis really just targeted education as part of their, I guess, mission statement, because Sim Isle was definitely something to do with ecology, conservation. You'd build different things on your island, different industries, but you don't want to at the same time destroy the species on your island. Indigenous populations might get angry with what you've done by putting a little airstrip there so that you can bring some tourists in. Very interesting game, but after something like SimCity, this is kind of boring, especially with the fact that you have to wait a long time for these turns to go around. SimCopter definitely was something that spawned off of SimCity 2000. In fact, you could actually upload your SimCity 2000 city in here and fly around in your helicopter. And I think this is the closest thing to the Sims that ended up coming from this game here. Some of the original programmers, some of the employees threw some stuff in here where some of the characters would go funny at certain parts. It came with copter sunglasses, which was cool. Wow, it was $65 at the time. So after that, Maxis kind of just got sold to Electronic Arts. So they made a few of these other sim games for more junior level kids and children. So they had Sim Safari, and there's also Sim Coaster, which was a really bad version of Roller Coaster Tycoon. I think they tried to do something like Roller Coaster Tycoon. It didn't work out very well. And one that I really wanted to get was Sim Town, and I never managed to get around to getting that Sim Town game. So after that, Electronic Arts attempted to do a sequel of SimCity 2000, so they made SimCity 3000. Great music on it, by the way. Made it look a little bit more of the year 2000 than SimCity 2000 actually was. Definitely the graphics were a lot better, and They put a lot more scenarios in there to liven up the game a bit. You could also import your SimCity 2000 games into this one. For the first time ever, you could actually deal with your neighboring cities, so you could have garbage deals with your neighbor. So after SimCity 3000, which was kind of like a flop compared to SimCity 3000, they came out with SimCity 4. Now, SimCity 4 was probably my favorite Sims series. The expansion pack, the Rush Hour expansion pack, made it a transit taker's dream. So you could put in monorail for the first time, you could put in really cool subways and designs that you weren't able to in SimCity 2000. You had boulevards, traffic circles that you could put in. There was a traffic circle mod that people made, and the traffic circles pretty much eliminated all traffic issues. The highways were cool, but the boulevards were cool. You could actually track where your people commuted for the first time, so you could click on a house and see where they worked. That plus the Simcopter pretty much made the Sims game, which I never actually played. And the Sims had the most expansion packs for sure. You could drive a train, you could drive elevated rails. Oh yes, there was a ferry system as well. Okay, moving on to the very last one I'll show you today. SimCity Societies. They made this game so complex and requiring so much memory that I wasn't really able to play it too much with the expansion kit they came with it, which was the SimCity Destinations. Society's Destinations part. And the way they made it, again, they dumbed it down a bit to make it look nicer, but it was just really hard to play with a slower computer that most people would have. Because of that, I think this is probably the reason why that was the end of the SimCity era of games. It just got too complex, requiring too much memory space and all of that kind of stuff for people to actually play. So when people got it, they weren't able to play it on their computers and stuff. So that's the end of Fab Wednesdays. Those are definitely my favorite Sims games. Sim Ant and Sim Tower are probably my favorite classic one. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you soon.